Against the backdrop of the growing federal budget deficit and deepening financial problems in the regions, Russia is forced to save money on payments to new recruits. The Main Directorate of Intelligence of the Defense Ministry of Ukraine reported that in several subjects of the Russian Federation, local lump sum payments to those who sign a contract with the occupation army have been sharply reduced. In particular, in Bashkiria, the amount of such payments fell from 1.6 million to 1 million rubles. In Yamalo-Nenets district, from 3.1 million to 1.9 million. In Belgorod region, from 3 million to 800,000. In Nizhny Novgorod region, from 3 million to 1.5 million. But there is an increase in payments in a number of regions. In Tatarstan, they raised the bonus to 1 million. In Ryazan region, they promised to pay 1 million more. In Kabardino-Balkaria, they raised the amount from 1.5 million to 1.8 million. Thus, Russia is formalizing a caste system in which the lives of citizens of different regions are evaluated differently, the intelligence agency noted. The financial hole of the underdebt is growing at a record pace. In January to July 2025 alone, Russia's budget deficit reached $61 billion, almost 4 times the original plan of $14.6 billion. The main reasons are falling oil and gas revenues, the failure of tax plans, and the rapid growth of military spending. The GUR emphasized the decrease in funds is reducing the number of people from Russia's regions joining the army. This is also creating dissatisfaction with the central government. Some experts say that cuts in funds lead to protests in the regions. In the public eye, military service is simultaneously painted as an honor reserved for the bravest and as the ultimate punishment. On one hand, the Kremlin showers awards and perks on professional soldiers, as state TV trumpets the exploits of ordinary people who stood up for the motherland. On the other hand, Russian authorities have put few filters on who can join the military, promoting the invasion of Ukraine as a way for tainted criminals or corrupt officials to redeem themselves. For example, the government has amended Russian laws to make it easier for those accused or convicted of crimes to sign up to fight in Ukraine. One Russian lawmaker, Alexei Borodai, described the volunteers as an unproductive section of the population who, when drafted, were often ill-equipped and could be used as meat to overwhelm the enemy's defenses.
Final preparations are underway for the U.S.-Russia summit in Anchorage, Alaska, the United States. According to Associated Press, the one-on-one meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and U.S. President Donald Trump is scheduled for Friday in Anchorage. Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, where the summit is expected to be held, is the largest military installation in Alaska. Media reporters were spotted outside the base on Thursday, with military personnel maintaining order. According to the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, Anchorage airspace will be closed on Friday, with specific road restrictions in place due to security risks.
我现在正在美国阿拉斯加州安克雷奇市，在我的身后，大家可以看到就是埃尔门多夫理查森联合军事基地。据白宫官员透露，美国总统特朗普和俄罗斯总统普京将于8月15日在这里举行会晤，这将是普京自2015年以来首次踏上美国领土。
We've seen people come from all over the world, actually, and there is increase for the rental cars and hotels and everyone, I'm assuming, and it is helping Alaska to be recognized by everybody around the world.
I think it's just good for the state of Alaska to get more recognition again, and then hopefully it brings in more business to local businesses.
I'd love to see peace to that, for sure. But I have my doubts. But I'm glad they're at least talking, because something definitely needs to be done.
Activists organized a pro-Ukraine protest in Anchorage, a few hours before a summit on Ukraine between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. According to Associated Press, Trump has long boasted that he's gotten along well with Putin and spoken admiringly of him, even praising him as pretty smart for invading Ukraine. But in recent months, he's expressed frustrations with Putin and threatened more sanctions on his country. Putin also suggested that long-term conditions of peace between our countries, and in Europe, and in the world as a whole, could be reached under an agreement with the U.S. on nuclear arms control. In Washington, Trump said there was a 25% chance that the summit would fail, but he also floated the idea that, if the meeting succeeds, he could bring Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to Alaska for a subsequent, three-way meeting. Meanwhile, Zelensky and other European leaders work to ensure their interests are taken into account when Trump and Putin meet in Anchorage.